So erleben wir den heutigen Tag als Beschenkte. Die Geschichte hat es diesmal gut mit uns Deutschen gemeint. Umso mehr haben wir Grund zur gewissenhaften Selbstbesinnung.
Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Die Deutschen leben wieder in einem souveränen, freien und geeinten Land. 45 Jahre nach dem Zweiten Weltkrieg endete in der vergangenen Nacht die deutsche Teilung. Die DDR.
It's been a while, people. It's been a quite while. Welcome to my channel. My new subscribers, please welcome the family. If you don't know, my name is Rose, and yeah, today is the 3rd of October, and it's a national holiday in Germany. That's why I am comfy, makeup, free face. And yeah, actually it's kind of in the evening, and I want to plait my hair while I talk to you. I talk to you about the Germany Unity Day. Is it called like that? Germany. Yeah. So it's heute ist Tag der Deutschen Einheit, which means German unity. And yeah, 30 years, one Germany. 30 years is not that long if you really think about it. And on the other side, 30 years is really long if you really think about it. Yeah, it will be like almost as old as I am. Okay, plus a few years. Crazy. Yeah, unbelievable. So yeah, I thought I'd sit down with you the German way with a bottle of beer. I'm loving this one so much. The Weißbier Zitrone. Oh, von Paulaner. It's so refreshing. Wow. Because I don't like beer. I don't even like the taste of beer. But that doesn't even have any beer taste, any alcohol. Oh, it's so good. And it's not like limo. It's not that sweet like limo. So it's like just a perfect taste for me. Yeah, so the German way. Yeah. And what is it that I want to talk to you about today, apart from just saying hi, hello, and how have you been doing? I want to just make a summary about my observations from the time I arrived in Germany till today concerning the German division or unity, the way you want to call it. Okay, so just a little bit history just for understanding the whole thing. I came to Germany in 2000, December 2000. That was 10 years, almost exactly 10 years after the West and the East Germany united again. And bear in mind, when Germany reunited, which was the 3rd of October, it was 329 days after the war, or the Berlin Wall, had fallen. And the Berlin Wall had been there for 45 years, since the end of the Second World War, and the winners of the Second World War were not really able to divide the conquered land. They had to build a wall in order to separate their territories. And for 45 years, Germany had been living in two countries, the East and the West. and the East was under the Soviet, and the West we had the US, and the you know the story, no need to tell you. So what happened is that during that time, the eastern part lived under communism, and the western part was, you know, the capitalist, you know what I mean. So the coming down of the Berlin Wall and the reuniting of Germany was a great mind-blowing thing for all Germans, both in the East and in the West. It was a wow, crazy thing. It was not a simple thing. It was not, it wasn't anything really, you know, by the way, it was, wow, this really happened, crazy. So after that, the German government, united, having their capital in Berlin now, had to find a way in order to reunite these two countries to form one. Yeah, there had to be some kind of strategy to improve the eastern part, which was quite underdeveloped, the eastern part which was a little bit behind in many different development stages, and to come like the same level with the western part, so that this country can actually be viewed as one country. Yeah. So when I came to Germany, if you've watched my videos, you know I landed in a small village called Speck, and Speck was in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. It was middle in a national park. Really middle in a national park. I don't know if you really can comprehend. It was like really in a national park. Yeah, because in summer we used to have many visitors come at our feiern house, so that they can just have nature holidays there. So I came to the eastern part of Germany 10 years after the reunity of both East and West Germany. And after that, I ended up in Berlin for like 7 years, where I was studying. And imagine, when I went to Berlin, I actually ended up living in the East Berlin for quite a while, for almost 3 years, before moving to the western part. Yeah, so I guess the village girl remains the village girl, right? So yeah, so I moved first in the east part of Berlin before I moved in the west part of Berlin. Yeah, and after Berlin, then I moved to Bavaria, which is like the core West Germany, prior West Germany. You know what I mean. So yeah, in this video, I just want to summarize the observations that I have done during this time, having lived in both the prior East and prior West Germany, to tell you if there are changes that I noticed, if there are any, you know the way people have pre-assumptions of maybe the Western people, Eastern people, if that is true, if something has changed over the years, and myself, where I would rather prefer living prior East or prior West, or it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and if you want to find out all that, God, that was such a long intro. Goodness, please stay tuned, and without further ado, let's get straight to it. Finally. God, the lighting is getting worse as it gets darker. I'm so sorry, Anyway, so the first obvious question will be if I ever noticed differences between the East and the West when I traveled around then, back in the day, because you know I would travel around. And okay, the first months I didn't travel much. I was more or less just in the eastern part of Germany, northern part of Germany. But afterwards, when I moved to Berlin, if I saw any differences between the two areas 10 years after the unity? And the obvious answer here will be yes. I definitely saw differences in these two areas. If you're traveling in the eastern part or in the western part of Germany, you will definitely see differences. And for me, those days, the obvious differences I could see were mainly the housing, right? In the eastern, we had these flat blocking areas, resident areas, which were more or less like these square blocks everywhere. And in the west, it was a little different. There were not so many of these block housing to be seen. Another thing was the infrastructure, because in the eastern prior East Germany, where I lived before when I was au pair, we had another different way of transporting, which was mainly with the tram. Yeah, so we were always using either the tram, the bus, or the regional trains. And then when you go to the west, you see they have like the S-Bahn, the U-Bahn. Then you're like, wow. And this can actually be quite well seen in Berlin itself, because there are parts of Berlin which were under the Western Berlin regime. They have these S-Bahns and the U-Bahns, whereas the other parts they have the tram, like the Straßenbahn. Yeah. Another thing you could notice was like the mentality of the people in West Germany. I don't know, they had just another kind of vibe surrounding them. It has nothing to do with sympathy or in any. I think it's just the way they carried themselves. It just felt more ease. It was more open than the people in the East. I must admit, I met so many nice Eastern people from the Eastern prior East Germany. It's unbelievable, really. When I came to as au pair, I remember my au pair family was so worried whenever I went out, and she'll be like, oh my god, be careful, not everyone is foreigner friendly. And I met so many nice people. I remember the very first time I went to Rostock, and I was standing at the machine to get myself a ticket automat. I was standing at the ticket automat to get myself a ticket, and then I was searching for my coins. It was costing, I think, 420 mark, and I was just searching for my coins because I was not completely sure what coins were what. I had many coins and I really did not know what coin was what. I had to check, like, this is a 5 cent, oh, this is a 10 cent, you know, this kind of thing, because if you're not used to the kind of money, you just don't know how the money looks and what the money is. So I was there searching, and this guy came, he put €4.20. The ticket came and he just gave me the ticket, and I was like, I have to give you the money, and he's like, no, it's fine. I was like, wow, these people here are so nice. So that was like the first really human friendly contacts I had with the people from the East. And you know, these are just foreign people, you don't know them. It's not like they are friends of mine, or it's just a foreigner. Or when I lost my wallet in Rostock at a booth, you know, those days we used to use booths for calling, and I was calling my au pair family to tell them that the registration bureau at the Sprachzentrum in Rostock was open only the next day, so I had to stay overnight in Rostock. So I had taken my registration money. Now, I don't know why I came to tell you stories about East Germany. Anyway, I had taken my registration money from the bank. That means my wallet was full of cash. And then I was at the booth. I called my Au family. I told them I will sleep here somewhere in Rostock, then go visit the office tomorrow, and then I'll come home. And they were okay with that. So, and then I left the booth. Only I left my booth and my wallet inside. Whoa, I was so freaked out because I came from Kenya and I know what would happen to such a thing if I left it in Kenya, huh? So when I took I traced my route back and then to the booth, and at the booth, to my surprise, I found this cute little piece of paper written, "If you've lost your wallet, please ask at the florist." And I was like, really? Such things happen? For real, for real, for real? So I asked at the florist opposite, and they had my wallet with every single cent inside. I was like baffled. I could not believe it. And for me, I was so new in Germany. My head was like, oh my god, Germans are so nice. It was like the first impression of Germans. I was like, wow, these people are so trustworthy. So yeah, no, I really had great experience at the south, so yeah, I really had great experience at the east part of Germany. I did not experience any kind of racist or racism at all. And I know this is just my experience. I know so many people have experienced this kind of racist experience, especially in Rostock or in the eastern part, but really it's nothing to generalize about those areas. No, really, I wouldn't say that. If I look at the records, there is definitely a higher racist crime in these prior East Germany parts, but according to me, I noticed that as any different. Yeah. Another thing, what else did I notice? Yeah, there are quite differences a little bit here and there, up to date, but I must admit this is completely diminishing. If I get to ask my daughter, I don't think she will even notice any of these differences. It's because those times people made you aware of them. My parents, my friends, anyone I met, they made me aware of, these are the Eastern people, these are the Western people. And then of course when you're told about that, you are keen to see those differences too. Yeah, so yeah, that's it from my side. Personally, I prefer living in Bavaria. From all the places that I lived, I love living here in Bavaria. It's become my second home completely, and it has nothing to do with Bavaria being part of the prior West Germany. Nothing at all, because there are so many things in the prior East Germany which I actually quite treasure, which I find I can relate to as a Kenyan. But I don't know, I fell in love in Bavaria, so I'm stuck here for good, I guess. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thanks so much for watching. It's becoming a quite long video. I actually wanted to list some 5 things Germany has done to unite Germany, East and West Germany, since 30 years till today. But no, I am not going to get into that because this video is getting a little bit too long. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you watched this far, thank you so much. Please subscribe if you have not, and please leave me your thumbs up if you like the video, and see you next Wednesday for another Wednesday video. Until then, please stay safe and stay safe, stay optimistic. Until then, ciao.